Hey man, do you mind if I ask, can I borrow some money? Like $50 or whatever? Yeah, I guess. What do you need it for? I need to buy a retro handheld. Oh, okay. Well, I have a handheld here. You can just have this instead of spending money. Thanks, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I need the money to buy drugs. Oh, you do, huh? Yeah, I just, love drugs. You're gonna buy candy, aren't you? No. Dude, you literally just ate an entire paycheck worth of Mike and Ike's. Don't you think you've had enough? I'll tell you when I've had enough. Hey there, how's it going? I'm TechDweeb, welcome. Thanks for clicking on the video today. Man, why is everything so expensive these days? Like, when I started this channel, I was obsessed with high-end tech. The kind of stuff that now costs so much money that the product page doesn't even show a price anymore. It just asks you if you'd like to schedule a meeting with a financial advisor. So like, I don't even care. Stuff is too expensive. RAM costs a kidney, storage costs a kidney, graphics cards cost a kidney. I've already sold like 7 kidneys. Surely I'm getting low on them by now, right? So, you know what? Screw it. I'm done with expensive tech. Because the funny thing is, cheap tech is actually amazing right now. Like, you can play PC games on Android handhelds. Indie games are cheap and better than ever. And retro gaming, oh man, retro game emulation is so freaking good now that you don't need to spend a fortune to get an amazing little pocket buddy packed with more games than existed in my entire childhood. Something cheap and fun that you can take anywhere and play the entire history of gaming itself while you watch modern civilization slowly collapse around you. And somehow, despite everything else getting more expensive, retro handhelds are still cheap. I don't understand it. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to quietly buy them and hope that nobody notices. Which is kind of awkward because I'm literally making a YouTube video about them right now. But like, nobody's gonna watch this anyway, so I think we're fine. Today, I want to show you my favorite super cheap retro handhelds. Under $100. Some are way under $100. This is just a list of my top 10, and they're not in any special order, just the order I thought would be fun for the video, although I did save my personal favorite for the end, so you're gonna have to stick around for that. The prices bounce around a lot, so I'm not gonna give you exact numbers in the video, because every time I do that, the price changes, and then people are like, why did you say one price in the video when I go to look, it's a different price. I'll include links to these things on AliExpress and Amazon and LitNXT, which is where I shop. That's my favorite reseller. So you can go look at those links and see the prices and decide for yourself. Also, I'm going to link to my review videos of all these things in the thingy below if you want to learn more about them. Anyways, that's enough blabbing. Let's look at some cheap as heck doodads before AI finds a way to consume those too. I'm going to be starting this video off with a frickin' banger of a cheap doodad, the Batlexp G350. If you didn't know, this is actually made by Anbernic. For some reason, they created a second company to make cheap handhelds, and then they just made this one device with it. But yeah, for all intensive purposes, it's an Anbernic. And that's frankly why this is such a good doodad. Anbernic makes amazing handhelds with great plastic, awesome screens, and top-tier membrane D-pads and buttons. Unlike lots of handheld makers, even on premium devices, Anbernic never screws up the most important stuff. The G350 isn't a beast. Frankly, nothing on this list is a beast. It's a budget handheld video after all. But still, for the price, you get a ton here. This thing uses the RK3326 chip, meaning that you can play all the older stuff up to PS1 no problem, with a good chunk of N64 and a bit of Dreamcast and PSP. Plus, we get that lovely retro Game Boy style aesthetic. And if you buy this from LitNXT, you can get a custom ArcOS card preloaded with amazing ROM sets. It's a great shortcut if you want a handheld that's all set up for you. Alternatively, I installed Newly on mine, and that made it pretty much as good as I could ever want. This is easily one of my favorite handhelds, even on this list. This is right near the top. Next up, we have a cute little guy, the MagicX XU Mini M. This thing is kinda crazy cool. It uses the same RK3326 chip as the last one, so it has more or less the same performance, everything up to PS1 with a bit of N64 and Dreamcast and PSP, nothing special there, but what sets this thing apart is 3 specific things. One is the system. The stock firmware is fine, but the XU Mini M has access to RockNix. And to be honest, it is a lot better like that. Rocknix is an amazing emulation station-based custom firmware that is super easy to use. It's highly customizable and it just feels incredibly console-like. 2. The controls. This is a small device, but the controls feel big and full-sized, especially the thumbsticks. These have the exact kind of concave stick caps that I love. Frankly, it puts most budget doodads to shame. The D-pad and the buttons feel awesome, and it's just wonderful to hold and to use and to game on. 3. It's small. This is among the most pocketable handhelds on this list. It's got the same 2.8-inch screen that we get in the Miyoo Mini, for instance, but it feels like a much bigger full-size device when you're actually holding it. And I'm gonna toss in a 4th reason. It's orange. We get so few true orange handhelds that I gotta give it a massive shout out for that alone. The Powkiddy V10 is a very interesting but also very niche device. I wouldn't comfortably recommend it over other options unless you are a very specific type of dweeb. That is, you love GBA, you love 3:2 ratio screens, and you love the quirky, weird, squashed Game Boy look. And I am that kind of dweeb. I love this thing to bits, but if you want broad appeal, consider a different device. If you're into GBA though, forget about it. This thing is amazing. Because it has a 3:2 ratio screen just like original hardware, it gives us pixel perfect 2x GBA integer scaling. Your games look crispy and clean with perfectly balanced pixels, no shaders required. I'm pretty confident in saying that GBA games look better on here than any other device on this list. I personally love the look of it too. This weird squashed Game Boy aesthetic with the extra smoky beige plastic, it's just great. I find it really comfy too, thanks to the shape and the triggers around back. I can comfortably game on this for long sessions. It also supports ArcOS, giving you a lovely clean system with good customization tools. If you're the kind of dweeb who enjoys something unique and GBA focused, the Powkiddy V10 should absolutely be in the running for you. And here we have the TrimUI Brick. For a lot of people who are super into this whole retro emulation handheld thing, the TrimUI Brick is probably going to be right at the top of their list. Everyone seems to love this thing. Heck, it was nearly at the top of mine. I am head over heels for this thing, especially for the price. It's amazing for lots of reasons, but the best part, and the reason I think that it's so popular, is that this thing is an amazing EDC handheld. It's so thin, light, and tough that it's just great to shove in a pocket and carry around everywhere. It has amazing build quality, a sleek and elegant and aesthetic design, great controls, and an amazing high pixel density screen. It also has enough power to play more N64 and Dreamcast and PSP than most of the cheap doodads. The stock system is really good, but there's a better firmware called CrossMix. LitNXT even sells custom CrossMix cards if you want a shortcut to pure doodad-ness. My personal favorite system for this is Newly, which is what I have installed. And the TrimUI Brick has bells and whistles like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and you can get customizable laser engraved backplates and colored buttons. These are available from LitNXT. Every time I grab this, it feels like I'm holding something super premium and expensive. But it's not expensive. It's sneaky like that. It's like it's trying to trick you. This one is called the R36H, and it's unique for a few reasons. Like, it's one of the cheapest doodads on this entire list. Even if you buy this on Amazon, you can find it cheaper than almost anything else around. It's made by the same company behind the R36S, but the R36H feels like it's a bit higher quality than its brothers. It's basically a budget version of Anbernic's RG35XX-H, which is twice the price. We don't get as much power. Again, it's just the RK3326 chip, so don't expect full N64 or PSP performance, but considering this costs less than a fast food date for you and your sweetie, that's still a good amount of stuff you can play instead of eating or having a sweetie. It's a great size, comfy to hold, and it has decent controls alongside a great 3.5-inch 480p screen. This is the same screen that's on Anbernic's XX devices, but at a fraction of the cost. Out of the box, the stock system is pretty good, it works fine, but this thing supports ArcOS. That allows you to run a modern front end with updated emulators, and you can organize your games good. Also, it's orange, so it gets 14 extra points for that. And if you've been keeping track at home, that brings us up to well over 1 million points. This right here is the Miniloong Pocket 1, and it hasn't been out very long. pun intended. In my first review video for this about a month ago, I said that I saw lots of promise here. I love the hardware, the controls, the big screen, and especially the cool, unique retro aesthetic. But I also said that the stock system was kinda just okay, but not great, and I was hoping that this would improve with custom firmware down the road. And guess what? You can subscribe to TechDweeb for free, if you can believe that. And also guess what? We did get custom firmware. Rocknix now runs on this thing, and it completely changes how I feel about this thing. I installed it a week ago, and ever since I keep grabbing this off my desk. It's crazy how much custom firmware can change your feelings about a device. This went from just a unique curiosity to something that I am totally obsessed with. And it features the RK3566 chipset, meaning that it runs N64 and Dreamcast and PSP much better than some of the lower end doodads on this list. It even has a great analog stick to actually play those games well. If you want something that's like this, then this is definitely worth considering because it is like this. I would love to put my all-time favorite handheld, the original Miyoo Mini, on this list. However, they don't sell it anymore. It's basically gone because the company pivoted to make the Miyoo Mini Flip instead. It has the same guts and screen, but in a new flippy form factor. This thing is basically a cross between the Miyoo Mini and a tiny GBA SP, and that is so freaking cool. How could you not like it? It's not even possible. This is easily the most pocket-friendly device on this list because when the screen folds down, it is absolutely tiny. It's like the size of a Nanaimo bar. And if you don't know what a Nanaimo bar is, you're gonna have to come to Canada to find out. When opened up, this feels way comfier to game on than a 2.8-inch device has any right to. The form factor is just highly efficient at packing in full-sized feeling controls. The stock Miyoo firmware is pretty good, but you can also install Onion OS, which improves this thing significantly. LidNXT even sells custom Onion OS cards preloaded and ready to rock if you want a premium, pre-made experience. It's not quite my beloved original Miyoo Mini, but it's still easily one of my absolute favorites. Moving along to the most powerful and premium, but also most expensive handheld on this list, the Ayaneo Pocket Air Mini. I'm technically breaking my own rule about only including sub $100 handhelds here. The Pocket Air Mini sits at $110, but it launched under $100 and Ayaneo does have sales that drop it back down to $99. So I'm gonna say that this just barely squeaks in. And even though it costs more, and it's the most expensive doodad here, you get a ton of bang for your buck. The build quality for the price is insane. Ayaneo makes beautiful stuff, but it usually comes with a massive price tag. This thing gives you that exact same premium quality, but at a fraction of their usual price. Performance-wise, it's easily the strongest device on this list. This thing can actually play some GameCube, PS2, and 3DS, and even some PC games via Game Native. And because it runs Android, you're gonna get access to all the latest high-end emulators. You won't be running most high-end stuff well, but you can try stuff, and you'd probably be surprised at what you can get away with. Best of all, the hand feel is incredible. I absolutely love the ergonomics, the controls, the size, and the overall look and feel. It's just so satisfying to game on that I absolutely had to break my own price rule to include it. The Anbernic RG28XX is going to be a love it or hate it situation. I think the main reason that some people hate it is the size. I've heard from many dweebs that their aging eyes struggle with small screens or that the narrow layout and tiny buttons cramp their hands. However, plenty of people think that it's the perfect size because it's just so dang portable. The lack of analog sticks or bumper humps makes it completely flush and insanely pocketable. Plus, it's crazy powerful for how small it is. It uses the H700 chip, which means that you get enough juice to play most N64 and Dreamcast and PSP games. You get way more gaming capability here than on most cheap doodads packed into a cute horizontal candy bar shape. Lots of people love it for those reasons, and I'm one of them. By default, you get Anbernic's great stock firmware, but you can also install excellent custom options like Newly. It still blows my mind that this thing is as capable as it is considering how small it is. And it blows my mind how cheap it is considering how capable it is. And it blows my mind at how cheap it is considering the price of literally everything else on earth right now. Finally, we come to the last super cheap doodad, which also happens to be my absolute favorite on this list, the Miyoo Mini Plus. I made a video recently about how crazy it is that years after its release, I am still recommending this thing all the time. It is easily my most recommended handheld ever. Let's get this out of the way. It is one of the least powerful devices on this list. You can only play up to PS1 and Nintendo DS, just the classic retro stuff. However, for those older retro games, this thing provides the absolute best possible experience you can get. It is simple and elegant and straightforward. You turn it on, jump into your game, you get excellent quality of life shortcuts. There's nothing to goof up or break. You just enjoy your games with perfect controls, a great screen, and a nice middle ground size form factor that is both pocketable and comfy. And of course, you can install Onion OS here, which is an incredible system. Or, of course, you can buy pre-made cards from LidNXT to get it all set up instantly with the best ROM sets that you can find on a pre-made device. I loved this thing when it came out, I've loved it since then, and I still love it today. I mean, if you want my advice and you don't want to think too much, just get a Miyoo Mini Plus. And that's it. That's my personal top 10 favorite retro handhelds that are still somehow super cheap. Maybe you knew about some of these, maybe you knew about all of them, but it never hurts to remind you that you don't need to spend an arm and a leg and an ear and a toe to get something to game on. So many good choices out there, but I mean, I had to pick 10 for some arbitrary list-based reason, and these are the 10 that stole my heart. Again, I'm going to have links to all these below if you want to get any, along with my videos about them, if you want to learn more about them. So let me know in the comments, which ones, which doodads do you think deserve to go down in history among the greatest cheap doodads known to man and dweeb kind alike. Also, click the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't, watch more of my videos, you know, all that YouTube stuff. I'm TechDweeb, thanks for watching, bye-bye.